Good morning, guys. Hope you're doing well. Today I want to talk about how to move on from a breakup. So this was the question I got. I recently went through a breakup. I know that it's going to take some time before things get better. I'm curious, what do you think my mental approach should be for the next several months? So my first piece of advice is, and I think you're doing it, is acknowledging reality for reality. I think a lot of people try to be delusional and not acknowledge what their true feelings are. A lot of people act like something's not bothering them when it in fact is bothering them, or they pretend to be good when they're not actually good. Denial may be effective in convincing others you're good, but the truth is always the truth. Denying your actual feelings only prolongs your recovery process. Before you can become a healed and emotionally ready person to date again, you will have to face your honest feelings and embrace, this time period after the breakup as, sort of a tough time period, where you're working on yourself. I love that you're saying it's going to take some time before things get better, because that's the truth. When you've been with someone for a while and there's a breakup or divorce, it's hard. And, they've been your partner or friend or support network, and now you're having to adjust your life to not having that. And that's an adjustment. I think my second piece of advice is don't speed up the process. I think a lot of people, after going through a separation, want to get to this, the healed version of themselves where they are emotionally ready to date again and have moved on, as fast as possible. And that's a mistake. Everyone's process is different, but you will have to go through your own process of grieving, learning to be independent, enjoying that independence, healing any other aspects related to the previous relationship, and then you'll be ready. And let's just put this out there. Grieving is not fun. Feeling alone is not fun. This is going to be sort of a messier time period in your life emotionally. But the beautiful thing is, if you put in the work, you will come out stronger and better emotionally. And the other thing to add on to this that I would say is don't put a timeline. I think sometimes, people say, I'm giving myself 4 months and then I should be ready to date again. And then 4 months go by and they're like, why am I not ready? Well, the 4 months is just an arbitrary timeline that you made up you made up yourself. You have to realize everyone's healing process is different. Everyone's situation is different. There's so many factors. How long you guys were together, why you guys broke up, and most importantly out of all of them is how much work are you putting in to actually heal yourself? Or are you avoiding that process because it's hard? I'm not saying this is the case, but I mean, you could put a timeline of 4 months, but if you do all the work that's necessary, all the hard work internally, you could be good in 2 months, and you're just putting out this arbitrary number. I think the third thing that I would say, much like anything in life, if there are immediate lessons, recognize them. So you don't make that same mistake going forward. There's a saying, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, I can't put the blame on you anymore. I got to put the blame on myself. And so For example, let's say you felt the breakup ended badly and you hate that it ended that way. Write down why it ended that way. Maybe you guys, in your last in-person, you know, get together had like a shouting fight, and after that fight, your partner cut off all communication. Um, and maybe that's a lesson for you, not only in future relationships, but in friends and family disagreements. Hey, I should not lose my temper, because I've seen shouting at someone can impact my relationship with them forever. And instead, what can I do next time if I find myself in that situation of a emotionally charged situation? Um, Maybe I need to tell the person, hey, I need to go out and think, and maybe just go for a walk, cool down, or hey, I'm gonna, before I react emotionally, I think I'm gonna just exit. Let me get back home, sleep on it, and we'll talk tomorrow. Come up with solutions for if you're ever in a similar position again. The other thing I would say on this part, try and reflect on the broader existential life lessons later. When people ask me, about the process after a breakup, they often ask me, what are the broader, deeper implications of, the lessons I should take from this breakup. And I always laugh because I'm like, that perspective is only going to come with time. You know, uh, Actually, this is a good example. The other day, a friend of mine um, who had a tough breakup about 4 years ago, said to me, I just realized I'm really thankful for the breakup because it taught me how to love myself. You know, if me and my ex had continued, I would never have learned that skill to love myself, to improve my self esteem, to be my best self, or to be my best friend, be my biggest supporter. Before I was very self critical. I relied on others to, love me, to fulfill my self esteem. And, even in the relationship, I only loved me because she loved me and she thought I was a good person. Today, after all this work, I have my own self esteem. I love myself. I view myself as a good person. And I don't need to rely on others for my self esteem. And so, these broader, deeper life thoughts, these lessons will come as the years go on, and it'll show up at random times when you realize things like this. Just hit my friend this major life lesson 4 years after the breakup on a random, you know, just walk that we're on, just hanging out, and he just tells me this. And then the fourth thing I would say is try and use resources as much as possible. Maybe explore therapy. That might be nice to have a third person figure where you can just talk about all the things that you are going on, because you don't want to put that burden on your friends or whatever. Not saying that that's what the case is, but or maybe read books or listen to podcasts on love and relationships. Rely on friends and family. Let them know, hey, for a little while here, I'm going to need you as emotional support, and I might need to hang out with you more.